ever find yourself craving sweet snacks like candy, cookies, donuts, or cake? If you know what I'm talking about, can I get a like? If you do, you're not alone. In this video, I'm going to talk about sugar cravings, how they affect your brain, and ways to start to wean away from the sweet stuff. Well, before I get into that, let me introduce myself. I'm Lisa Wright with Your Personal Best Training Studio, and my team and I help men and women over 50 years old to move better, feel better, and age actively. Okay, so let's talk about sugar. And to be clear, I'm talking about foods with added sugar, like sweet drinks, baked treats, prepared foods like breakfast cereals and ice cream and candy. This video is not about foods with natural sugar like fruit. So let me ask you a quick question. Do you ever start the day off with a little sugar in your coffee or tea, or have cereal or other quick breakfasts like a bagel or a muffin? If you do, that sets you up for sugar craving cycle that will last all day. Here's something you should know. Sugar lights up the same feedback loops in your brain as addictive drugs like cocaine. When you eat sugar, you get a shot of dopamine and other feel-good hormones, and that can make you crave even more. Over time, you can lose track of how much sugar you take in during a day. The problem with that is, added sugar does pretty much nothing for you nutritionally except give you quick fuel that ends up making you feel more tired and craving more of it. You can end up in a cycle of eating sugar, which raises your blood sugar level, so your body has to send out insulin to metabolize it, and that leaves you with lower blood sugar, which makes you tired and craving even more sugar. Over time, this can add up to major health problems like insulin resistance, metabolic disease, inflammation, diabetes, and a higher risk of other diseases. I always say sugar likes to party. If you invite it into your body, it's going to want to bring along more of their sweet friends from the bad side of town. And before you know it, they will trash the place and you'll end up feeling awful. Sugar craves sugar. Have you ever felt a sugar hangover after eating something like cake or candy? It's no joke. You feel tired, cranky, shaky, and some people even say they notice their joints ache if they eat too much. Well, give me a like again if you've ever felt any of those things before. One way you know you might want to consider cutting back on your sugar intake is if the idea of it makes you feel resistance, like you don't want to do it. You know, like it will be too much work, or you wonder how you will get through the afternoon without a little pick-me-up to keep you going. I know firsthand how that feels. We've all been caught in that sugar cycle at one time or another. It's hard to avoid in our grab-and-go culture, but cutting back is so worth it. Once you make the transition to a lower sugar diet, you'll feel so much better, you'll be amazed. Also, you'll be shocked at how overly sweet some foods taste once your taste buds get back to normal. Have you ever cut back on sugar and then eaten something sweet and it was just too much? Let me know in a comment below. If you are on the sugar roller coaster, getting off of it is truly liberating. One of the things that surprised me when I finally ditched the added sugar was how even I felt over the course of the day. I had more constant energy, and I generally felt more balanced. I hadn't even realized how much energy cycled up and down and up each day. And then one day, after about a week without added sugar, I realized how much calmer and less stressed I was. It was pretty wild. Okay, so are you ready for the 2 different approaches you can take to get off sugar? Both work, but I'm definitely a fan of one versus the other. Here's the first way you can get off sugar, which I don't necessarily recommend. Starting right now, right this minute, you rip off the Band-Aid and cut out all the added sugar starting right now. Just do it and just get it done. Well, depending on how much sugar you normally eat each day, this could mean you have to ride out some cravings and fatigue, and you might even feel like you are coming down with the flu for a day or so. You will have to rely on willpower if you go this route, but it will get the job done. There's some value in that, but there are quite a few negatives. A big one is that if you have one slip and eat something with added sugar, chances are you'll go right back to your old behaviors because you haven't had the time to replace your old habits with newer ones. Habits are pretty major when it comes to sticking with your lower sugar diet or any other lifestyle change. That's why I usually recommend an approach that's gentler on your body, creates new habits, and gets the job done even if it takes a little longer. All you will do is cut back on your sugar intake over time, either over a few days or a week or 2. It's your choice. First step, starting right now, is to cut back the amount of added sugars you normally eat by 1/2. So, if you add sugar to your coffee or tea in the morning, start by cutting the amount in half. That means if you put in a teaspoon, cut that back to 1/2 teaspoon. Gradually, you will cut back to using no sugar at all, a little at a time. You can add other flavors like cinnamon to help spice it up. It sounds weird, but it's tasty. Plus, if you use Ceylon cinnamon, it helps your blood sugar in balance. You might even find yourself drinking less coffee than usual, which isn't the worst thing in the world. And second, cut back on sugary drinks like sodas or iced coffees or teas. Again, depending on how much you drink, you can start drinking 1/2 as much soda. I don't recommend using diet drinks or artificial sweeteners at all, but if you absolutely must have a soda, you can temporarily substitute 1 diet soda a day with the goal to get off of them altogether as soon as possible. There is evidence that diet sodas can make you still have cravings, which of course defeats the purpose. If you miss having bubbles in your drink, like the carbonation from soda, well, try using sparkling water or seltzer water and add some fruit to it like strawberries or watermelon. It's very good and refreshing. Also, make sure you have plenty of fresh fruit around that you can grab whenever you start to crave something sweet. If you get craving for something like a cookie, grab the fruit instead. Replacing a cookie with fruit does require willpower, but it doesn't take long for you to start noticing the benefits. And that's what it's all about anyway, making upgraded choices that you feel good about until those upgraded choices become your new normal and you don't even have to think about it. Are you ready for this? I hope so. I'm excited to hear how much better you feel in a few days. Once you start feeling the difference, it'll help you stick with the program. Are you willing to give it a go? Let me know in a comment below if you want to try this today and for the rest of the week. I hope you have an amazing day.